from the station that's on your side. This is Channel 7 News Daybreak.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:24. School is starting, and with all the activity to get ready, having up-to-date immunizations can sometimes get overlooked. And it's not just the younger ones that need those vaccinations. Joining us this morning to explain what you need is Baptist Health's Dr. John Allen Cockerell with Sherwood Family Medical Center. Thanks so much for being here. It is back to school. We've got new viewers that took the summer off, and now they're getting up. So we're glad you're back up with us. And this is an important topic. We want to start with what are the recommendations as kids go back to school, even before they start, or that they need to take care of within those first couple of weeks?
Sure. So I think you mentioned the biggest thing is just being up to date, making sure that your shot records are updated, that you're fully immunized as best we can. I mean, again, vaccines are meant to prevent disease, and going back to school, you definitely don't want to get your kid off to a bad start, right? Or predispose them to having some issues with diseases. So being up to date is the biggest thing. If you know your child is not up to date, there's catch-up schedules. So there's ways we can kind of group vaccines together to get them caught back up to where they need to be for full immunization. So hopefully by now, most kids going back to school, right? If not all now going back to school. Hopefully most of the children in the state are taken care of, but there are always outliers, always issues, and so if you need help getting caught back up, just talk to your doctor and we can do that for you.
Some parents out there may be saying, okay, which immunizations are absolutely mandatory for my child?
Sure, so your school can answer that too. I mean, there's definitely a list of mandatory vaccines in order to go back to school, but just because a vaccine is not mandatory for school purposes, still highly, highly recommended. So I get this a lot. Some people say, well, the HPV vaccine, for instance, right? Not mandatory for school purposes, but still highly, highly studied and recommended. So it's not that it's any less, efficacious or unsafe. It's the fact that we don't need it necessarily to go back to school for mandatory purposes. But there are some, yes, not mandatory, still highly, highly recommended.
Gotcha. Okay, let's talk about adult shots, because we're not just talking about the young kiddos, which I think people tend to try to stay up on.
Right.
It's when they get older, I've got all my shots, I'm good. But there are some like your college student might need.
Yeah, absolutely. So with college age kids, the biggest thing is the meningococcus. So vaccines against meningitis, really, really severe disease that we can hopefully prevent. So that's the big one there. A couple others with adults, even beyond, adolescents and young adults, ages 50 and 65 kind of become key ages there. In my practice, I see people all the way up to geriatrics. And at 65, we're talking pneumonia shots. At 50, we're talking the shingles vaccine. And these things are changing, over time. There's even some talk about right now in the literature about pneumonia vaccines possibly changing too. But right now, there are key points throughout your life where we want to vaccinate, want to get you up to date, and even up to adults 50 and age 65.
We're out of time, but people can go and find out all the vaccinations that are needed. And where do they go? Sure.
So CDC is the major organization that keeps up with vaccines and recommendations. So that's online at their website. The ADH, Arkansas Department of Health, does a great job of keeping up with our state's records. So if you have questions about, is your child vaccinated, et cetera, talk to the ADH.
Okay. Also, you can talk to your doctor as well. Dr. John Allen Cockerell, as always, thanks so much for being here. If you have a question, you can call 1-888-BAPTIST.